Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Mr. Rome Rocks. Today we're going to add a curve and use the curve to deform a shape. And so first of all, we've gone to add before, and we've added meshes. We've added most of these different meshes, but today we're going to add a curve. We're going to go to Bezier curve, and we're going to add that right to where the 3D cursor is. Now that's not where I want it. I want it to be here in the center, and so I can do this in two steps by hitting Shift S and say cursor to center. Now the cursor moved to the center. The second step is to say selection, which notice this guy is selected. I can say selection to cursor, and now the selection moves right to where the cursor is. So move the cursor to the center, move the selection of the cursor, and we're good to go. If I tab into edit mode, notice that I have a Bezier curve, and these two guys are not right where I want them to be. So I can move that. I move this guy up, I move him over, and right away I have a Bezier curve that is pretty much where I want him to be. If I move these handles are on the end, they help me to figure out where I want this guy to be. If I tab into edit mode and hit W, I can say subdivide, and oops, first of all I should say A, and now I say W subdivide, and now I've got this guy subdivided, and so I can move him where I want him. If I select just this guy and move him forward, I can get a more arced curve, and at this point this curve will allow me to deform an object as I see fit. To do this, I'm going to go to add mesh, and I'm going to add, in this case, a cylinder, and the cylinder I'm going to add or deform to the mesh. To do this, I'm going to say S for scale. I'm going to scale him way, way, way down. I'm going to rotate on the y-axis 90 degrees. And when I do that and scale then on the x-axis, this guy scales out on the x-axis. Notice the x-axis is turning red. At this point, this guy is going to bend according to this curve. The way that I make it do that is, first of all, I have to change the geometry a little bit. To do that, I come in here and I'm going to say Control R for a loop cut, and if I roll out the middle mouse button, I'll find out that every place I have one of these pink or purple loops, that's where my tube is going to bend. Left click to set that in place, and all I have to do now is tab out of edit mode, and if I have this guy selected and then I shift select the curve, all I have to do is say Control P, and with Control P I go to Curve Deform. Curve Deform is going to deform my curve so that it matches perfectly. Now, currently both of these are selected, so all I have to do is select just the tube, and if I move the tube, notice that it conforms perfectly to my curve. At that point, I have a shape. Maybe this is something that is going to be a handle to something later on. If I want to change this, I can say scale on the z-axis only, and if I scale this guy up on the z-axis, notice that he's horizontal. Again, I can also smooth him. I can also come over here to modifiers. I can add yet another modifier, say add modifier, subdivision surface, and so this guy is truly smooth. If I apply this once and I take that back, you always apply your modifiers from the bottom up. Even though this is the, looks like this is the top, we apply our modifiers from the bottom, so we call this guy the top and this guy the bottom. It's a little bit weird, but that's okay. So apply this guy, then apply this guy, and now I have a shape that I can use in whatever way I want. That's it for today. Bye-bye.